Hi everybody, it's Joy Packard. It's been a hot day here in San Antonio. It is like 100 and something degrees. So anyway, we are still evacuated. We're still here and we're still waiting to hear when the mandatory evacuation is over. But in the meantime, we are just enjoying our family, and actually we heard that the river, or the levee by our house, crested today, and it looks like the water is going to recede. So in the midst of it all, you know, we have family that evacuated from Vidor and family that evacuated from Nederland, Port Neches, Southeast Texas, and in the midst of it all now, it's like it looks like you know, everybody is either evacuated or evacuating, and everybody is safe. Now it's just about, you know, kind of looking at the cleanup and the catastrophe and seeing ways that we can help, seeing what people need, you know, water, some need homes. People are being displaced right now, but we know what's really, really cool about this whole thing. As catastrophic as it has been, I think I talked a little bit about this yesterday, as catastrophic as it's been, it's the outpour of love that is happening with everybody around. We have people that we don't even know, that right here in San Antonio, in our church, I saw my sister talking to them, and people that we don't even know that are just opening up their homes. I think the Airbnb site is really, really cool, because if you get on there, there's several people who are putting their homes up, and they're just saying, if you're a hurricane evacuee, here it is, here's our home, it's open for you. And I continue to be amazed at the love and sacrifice that people are giving. I think, you know, in our neighborhood at home, one of the cool things is, you know, there's some looters that are happening in the neighborhood, and I saw a picture of somebody in the neighborhood, you know, that had guns, and they basically said, you know, if you loot, we will shoot. And they basically are at the front of the neighborhood, you know, protecting everybody's stuff. And it's just so much love, so much camaraderie, basically saying, you know, those of you who have evacuated, you know, we're here until you come home, taking care of your house. And, you know, I look back at this whole thing, you know, I look back from the time that we left, and the feelings that we had when we were leaving, and, you know, throwing everything that we could in a suitcase and in our van as quick as we could to get out, and shutting our door to not knowing what we're going to come home to. And I know that, you know, we are, there's some that are not as fortunate as we are, and, you know, we continue to help pray and help as much as we can. We have some cousins that are actually heading this way, who had to evacuate from Vidor, and, you know, there's a lot of them all staying in one house, and, you know, we all just make do. You know, it's almost like whenever things like this happen, when things like this happen, and we make it such that our life is disrupted. You know, we have a disruption in our life. We have a hurricane happen, and all of a sudden life isn't always about, you know, doing Amazon, or, you know, our everyday life. It's about survival and trying to help those who need our help. And, you know what, when we go home, it will be about, you know, forming the groups to help with cleanup and to help with rescue still. Well, not really rescue anymore, but mostly just, you know, what can we do to help those, you know, whose houses were flooded and who need help. And so it's interesting how an event like this pulls people together, you know, in an unusual way. Suddenly people who we don't even know, you know, who we people down the street, you know, lending a helping hand. You know, do you need some food? You know, what can I do to help you? You know, can I one of the things that was really cool in one of our Facebook groups is somebody has a red wagon, and they're going around to all the people who are evacuated and getting all the newspapers, and, you know, just keeping an eye out for each other. And I just think it's so cool on how, like I say, an event has pulled out, a horrible, catastrophic event, but yet people joining together and, you know, showing so much love. So the update from us today is that we're waiting for them to lift the mandatory evacuation order at home. And, you know, we are in San Antonio now, and this whole hurricane thing has created a panic of gas, you know, gas shortage. And so people in Dallas and San Antonio, Austin, you know, are filling up with gas. Although in Houston, you know, gas is available. It's really crazy. So, you know, from here, we find out, you know, the things that we have to do when we get home. And luckily, you know, like I say, we have to go home and clean up. But you know, one thing that I wanted to share with you is interesting is that suddenly the little things that we complain about on a daily basis or want to complain about, such as it's hot outside, or, you know, I had to pay for my van that got broken, or, you know, my shower isn't working, or whatever, is suddenly becomes something that we don't even complain about anymore, right? Because there's so many other people who have it way worse than we do. And so it makes you start to take on a grateful attitude on a daily basis. You start becoming grateful for hot showers, you know, for clothes on your back to wear, for routine, for things that, you know, are happening that we normally take for granted, right? A car to drive. My son's car was flooded. One of my son's cars was flooded, and so, you know, just being able to go to your garage and start up your car and go wherever you want to when you want. You know, some of these everyday comforts that we enjoy in the United States, suddenly you just become more and more grateful, right? Because whenever you are in an event like as we have been throughout this whole week, you know, suddenly, like I said, you know, having a home and having food to eat and having, you know, water to drink. You know, whenever you're in this situation where electricity is lost, where, you know, your electricity is lost, you don't have, you know, water at your expense, people are taking their pool water to flush their toilets. Suddenly these everyday comforts that we take for granted become something that we're just so much more grateful for. And I think that that's such an awesome thing that has come out of this. I'm a lot more grateful. You know, when I'm brushing my teeth now, I don't just let the water run out of the sink like I used to. And I don't, you know, when someone needs help, you know, and they're asking for help, you don't think twice about it. You think, you know, I have a home to go to. These people have no home. They're evacuated. And, you know, you just, your mindset, I guess, is what's really cool, is your mindset is such that you start thinking about, how can I help this? How can I help these people? And, you know, what are some ways that I can share the things that I have, right? Because we're so blessed. Our family is so blessed. You know, our home was spared. Our cars are spared. And so it just puts you in the mode of, you know, instead of thinking, why don't I have this? You know, like, why is it that I don't have these things? It puts you in the mode of, what can I do to share my things with others? So it just becomes more of a sharing attitude, a sharing and loving attitude, and it's beautiful. And it's interesting how a catastrophe can bring that kind of attitude out of people. You know, you have people on the street offering you water. There's people that we don't even know buying pallets of water and sending it to these people. And volunteers, you know, going to the shelters and volunteering their time. There's people that are, you know, getting their families that are okay in our neighborhood and finding ways that they can help those who are not as fortunate as they were. And so they're gathering their families and just saying in the Facebook group, you know, what can we do? We have 4 people. Put us to work. I'm a roofer. I won't even charge you. We have eye doctors that are saying, come and get your contacts for free. Come and get your prescriptions filled. You know, come and do this, come and do that. And so here I am thinking, what can I do, you know, to offer help and relief for those who are affected. So I just wanted to say a quick hello, give you an update like I've been doing. I know a lot of you in Texas, you know, Houston, Vidor, Southeast Texas, where I grew up, are now evacuated and displaced from your homes. and you know, some of you are here in San Antonio on, you know, in FEMA hotels, and you don't know what tomorrow brings. You know, you have your luggage, and you have each other, and every day is a new day, and every day is like a day to be grateful. You know, grateful that you're alive, and grateful that you have bottled water. I went to Costco today, and it's the first time I've seen bottled water in a long time, because bottled water has been you know, gone from the store since this hurricane, with everybody, you know, trying to, you know, get to it and stuff. So suddenly, like I say, you start being grateful for water and being able to flush your toilet, you know, without thinking about it. So I just wanted to share that with you. I think that, you know, there's one thing that we can learn from Hurricane Harvey, is not just you know, how miserable it's been, you know, to the anxiety of leaving your home, you know, when you don't know what's going to happen when you come back, the catastrophe and disasters that are happening with our family and friends and homes who have been flooded. And so, you know, what's really interesting is one of my cousins, I was talking to him or texting him the other night and telling him how sorry I was, you know, that his house was flooded in. And you know what he said? He said, you know, we're going to be okay. Our family's okay. Everything's okay. And I've never seen such an outpour of love of people, you know, that we are trying to help, you know, people that are just offering their assistance. And, you know, I know when we come home, it's going to be a mess, and, you know, it's going to take some time to recover. But what we do have is each other. And I thought, what a beautiful, beautiful message, you know, of how people, I guess, pull together, right? And suddenly material things become not so much value anymore. You know, it's a matter of like having each other and knowing that we are okay, and that from this day forth, you know, we just move forward and we offer our assistance to those who are not as fortunate. And so the next few weeks, months, years are rebuilding Texas. And, you know, and that's what, you know, a goal should be. And, you know, like I say, before I let you go, it's interesting because suddenly, you know, our life is put on halt, you know, like I'm not doing Amazon right now. I'm, you know, thinking of my family, of those who are, like I say, displaced from the hurricane, and thinking about the people who are in our neighborhood who are going to need our help on a daily basis, you know, like from this day forth for the next, who knows how long it takes for our community to in our state and our cities to recover from this horrible disaster. But, you know, as groups, we just, you know, go hand in hand and we help each other. And I think that that's the part, like I say, that's interesting, that I love so much. As sad and as catastrophic as this event has been, it has brought people's hearts together. And it's been a beautiful thing. That part has been a beautiful thing. So that's where we are today. We are helping some families who are coming in here from Viter. They're evacuating and trying to find out where to put people. And hopefully in the next 2 or 3 days, our mandatory evacuation will be lifted, and we'll probably be heading home to check our house and to help those that are around. We do have, you know, police and people watching the neighborhoods. So those who are watching and seeing people's homes that are, you know, that are not there, looters and such, you know, there's people that are watching out for you. So as I'm talking about this and people who are not home and such, you know, it's like some people are, oh, you know, whatever. But it's interesting, the love of the communities and people watching out for each other. So anyway, in the midst of it all, you know, with Hurricane Harvey, I hope that all of you guys are continuing to take each day and be grateful for what you have. And, you know, that's what I don't have my 5-minute journal with me. I thought I did in here. But that's how you begin your day, no matter. You know, you just begin your day and think of 3 things that you are grateful for. And when you start putting your mind on what you are grateful for rather than what you don't have, that's one thing that Hurricane Harvey has helped us all to see, right? You know, amidst the like I say, the disasters and such. So I encourage you to be grateful. I encourage you to do what you can to help those who are in distress right now, you know, and look for ways that you can help, whether you're near or whether you're far, whether you physically can go and help somebody, drop off lunch, help them, you know, with their house or whatever, and as they're going through things, or whether it's to, you know, look online and see some of the ways that you can donate or whatever. I know some people are donating pallets of water, you know, to Southeast Texas, and, you know, I gotta go. I guess people are trying to get a hold of me. You guys take care. I will talk to you guys soon.